Internals. Okay, so internals detail, is it okay? Okay, so now we'll move on to the exceptional handling. Is the screen visible? Okay, so just let me show you the syllabus. Okay, so this is what your syllabus for exception handling. So the exception hierarchy, exception handling fundamentals, the consequences of an uncaught exception. Exception enable you to handle errors gracefully using multiple cache clauses. Catching sub exceptions. Try blocks can be nested, throwing an exception. A closer look at throwable using finally using throws, Java's built-in exceptions. Okay. New exception feature added by JDK 7, creating exception subclasses. Okay. And okay, so this is what in from your syllabus they have given. Okay, so they are given like what in general. So how the flow will be? You will be having a definition of exception, and you will discuss why we need to have how why we need to handle the exception, and what is the fundamentals or what is the like how we are going to handle an exception. Okay, so then what are the types of exception, what is the difference between exception and the errors. Okay, not like difference, how you will differentiate an error from an exception, that's what. And what is the what way you can use the exception handling mechanism? Like try catch block only. So in try you can have multiple catch blocks. A nested try you can have, and you can have subclass of exceptions. And also what are built-in exceptions, and how you can have your own definition. You can create your own exception. Okay, so that is what. And what is a new feature in JDK 7? Just I have to search it. Okay, or in the book to refer what will be the new thing they have added. Other than that, it will be very simpler, and you will be having throws. Okay, how you have to use that. Okay, so that is what the entire thing we have to discuss. So today we'll see what is an exception, what is exception and handling, and what are the type of exceptions, how exceptions are caused while we are running a program. Okay, and what is the basic criteria of handling an exception. Okay, so that's what we will discuss today. Okay, here I have one definition, just I'll see, and again, that is some other slides I have made. So, how an exception is defined as an exception is an event that occurs during the execution of a program that disturbs the normal flow of instructions. They are to be handled because they terminate program or application abnormally. Okay, it is just like something you are running a program. Okay, so some event is going on a stage. So in between, some people will arrive there, or some incident happens, so that all the people, okay, you think it's some dance performance you are watching. At that time, in that hall, something happens, some sound noise will come, or some people will just arrive. So then, what will happen? Everybody will change their or turn their head from instead of viewing the dance performance, they'll see at that event. Okay, that is an exception because there will be stage program is going on one after the another, that is the normal sequence. Once it will complete, the other one will start. The ones that will complete, the other one will start. That is the normal sequence. Whenever something happens there, what is dance performance, that will be stopped. People are handling this event, so that means what, they may come back to being the severity of the incidents. They may continue with the program, or they can exit from the program. Okay, you think that somebody will come and say bomb is put in that hall or somewhere, then what will happen? Everything will be terminated and everybody will run away, right? So that means what, a program is executing, but something happens, so that means its execution stops, and you will come out of that. That is what, it is an event that occurs during the execution of a program and disrupts the normal flow of the instructions. A program is nothing but a set or a flow of sequence of instructions to be executed, right? So where at what instruction it happens, at that level only will stop and you will exit. Okay, so that is what it will say, abnormal exit. Okay, abnormal termination. Okay, that is why that situations is to be handled. Okay, so that is again applied to the normal situation where a program is going on, you have sequence of event, something happens that is to be handled, and you have to continue with your program events. Okay, so that is what you have to handle it. If you are not handling, what it will happen, the entire event will be stopped, it is disturbed. So this is the need of handling the exceptions, and that is what we'll call it as the definition. It is an unexpected situation. So we cannot say it is unexpected, we can say this may happen or this will happen, something like that we can also think. Okay, some event will occur in between. Okay, that is what the definition. Okay, so let me go with this. Okay, here we have that. So then, what is the mechanism that will handle that event is called as an exceptional handling. It is a mechanism to handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of the application can be maintained. Okay, somewhere the program is executing at the time an exception occurs, then that needs to be handled. Okay, because to make that program to continue execution and to stop the abnormal termination of that program. Okay, you can say a simple program or it may be an application, right? To do that, this is needed to be handled at exception, and that mechanism is called as exceptional handling. Okay, and what is the hierarchy they have given here? So you know what is an exception, what is exceptional handling, and in general, I have tell you like why it is required to handle it. Okay, so then what is that? The general hierarchy in Java, how you are going to handle such situation, and how you will identify that situation, and what are the things which are going to cause that situation. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so before that, going to the hierarchy, I'll see that. Okay, um, like what is going to cause the exceptions. Okay, where I'll move. Okay, okay, so just wait. I've just closed it. I put that in the. Okay, which slide I have just put that information. I'll just find. Yeah, here. Yeah. Okay, so where in what situations an exception can occur? Okay, and what are the reasons which will cause an exception? So a user has entered an invalid data. A file that needs to be opened cannot be found. A network connection has lost in the middle of communication, or the JVM has run out of memory. Okay, so this is what you see, a user has entered an invalid data. So just you think I have taken int 10, and to read that from the keyboard using scanner, what I have to do? Next dot int I have to use. So for a variable integer, if I use instead of next dot int, if I use next dot double, okay, so degradation of the variable is possible. But if I use next string means what? For integer variable, I'm reading a string data. Okay, so that is where a user has entered an invalid data. Okay, data type mismatch. That is what the IO exception we can call it as, right? So this is one of the reason. And again is what, a file that needs to be opened cannot be found. See, if you may be knowing if through a file pointer you will read or write a file. Okay, so here in Java we are using the stream classes, right? Okay, you see, whenever I want to write something on a file, so the compiler have the flexibility that if that file does not exist, I if I say open that output file means what, it will create and open it. But when I have to read some data from a file, that means what? That file needs to be exist. Okay. So then only it can open it. Okay. So that is why at that time, to do the read operation from a file, I have to open an existing file. If that file does not exist, or I have given a wrong file name, then that file name cannot be found. Okay, so at that time a file open error will be occurred. Okay, so you are inserting some image into a word file. So you have to choose that path, or in an html thing you have given the path for a given file. If that file not found, then it will be an error, right? So that is what the file not found error. Next is what? Either JVM has run out of memory. Run out of memory occurs when if you are creating a linked list, stack or queue. From that, whenever you will create each node, you are allocating some memory. If from the operating system is not able to provide that memory, running short of memories, and then you will say memory full. Okay, so that is what you will say. So that is what out of memory exception. And also network connections or JDBC connection, you are connecting to a database. So there that connection and accessing database, all these things are failed at that time, it will give you a connection error or a database not found, something like that. Okay, so these are the some errors that may disturb the execution of the programs, and these are the reasons which will cause the exceptions. Okay, here finally all these are summarized, like what exceptions are caused by user error, like giving invalid data or something like that, or by programmer error. So it is like division by zero or array index out of bound. Okay, or something. Okay, or by physical resources that have failed in some manner. Okay, input output reader. Okay, not able to get something from the keyboard, or network issues, not connected. Okay, so that type of things will be causing the exception, which will disturb the execution of a program. So again, exceptions are classified as checked, unchecked, as well as errors. Okay, errors are something which are unrecoverable. That is what will say that like programs which cannot handle something, that is called as errors. Whereas these exceptions, they will say checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions are compile time exceptions, and will be called examples are file not found exception, class not found exception. Okay, IO exceptions are called as compile time exceptions, whereas unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions. Okay, so that is during the execution of a program, these things will happen. Array index out of bound and arithmetic exceptions. The definition I have given in the another slide. Just I wanted to give this. They are classified in this manner. Okay, broadly exceptions hierarchy will be like the lower will be error and exceptions, and in exceptions we have two categories: runtime exceptions and the compile time exceptions. That is what checked or unchecked exceptions. That is what in the hierarchy it is included. Okay, so just now you have seen what is exception, and what is exceptional handling is, and what are the reasons which will cause an exceptions. Okay, that is what we have seen. Okay, let me go into the other one now, so where I have the other details. Okay. Okay, so this is what. Um, okay, so this is what general hierarchy of exception is given. Okay, so Java lang is the superclass. So it is derived in object, and we have the for the all the exceptions we have the superclass that is throwable. Okay, it is inherited into errors and the exceptions. Errors are recoverable, unrecoverable things which is not handled through the programs. Okay, something with associated physical resources. Okay, some failures. Okay, so that will be called as the errors. Whereas exceptions are what you can handle through in a program. Whatever which will disturb the execution of a program, that you can handle through a program. Where errors are the disturbance occurred to the execution of a program that you cannot handle through the what you handle in your program. Okay, so that is what the errors are different from the exception. It is not like syntax or errors or the semantic errors or the logical errors. Okay, So some other errors which will disturb, okay, that you cannot handle through the program. Whereas syntax errors, semantic errors, and logical errors you can handle in your programs. Okay, so that is what the thing. These exceptions are other exceptions and runtime exceptions. Other exceptions will call it as what? Like compile time exceptions. That means what? Some you can predict, you can throw during compile time only or in a program only, say like this may happen. Okay, so that is what compile time exception. Whereas runtime during the execution of a program, it will occur. Okay, so this is an example like in that hierarchy. That for the different types, what we have is runtime. Array index out of bound is a runtime exception. Arithmetic exception is a runtime exception, as well as class that will come to this other exceptions. Okay, array index out of bound, arithmetic exceptions. These are the some type it is given. And other exceptions are what? IO exception, that is whenever user will give an invalid data. File not found, obviously I have mentioned. SQL exception, that is what? Database connectivity, if you are not able to establish, then we will get this one. And errors, stack overflow out of memory. Stack overflow, that is whenever you are calling a recursive function, implicit stack will be created. So whenever that overflow occurs in that, that is what an error. Why that overflow occurs, that you don't know, because implicit stack creation will be done. Okay, so that you cannot handle through your program, so that is why it will be called as an error. Okay, so out of memory, when you are asked for some memory to allocate for some variable, if it is not able to give that memory, then it is not your program error. Okay, so that is why these things are different from errors. Okay, so exception hierarchy, you will have this scenario, right? What you have to do is, these are the classes. Okay, these are the classes, and here inside this you have to write whatever the examples I have given here. Okay, so that is the block diagram for representing class hierarchy of exceptions. Now again, how types of exception? This is same. Checked exceptions, which will be compile time. Unchecked exceptions, it is runtime. And errors, which are other than exceptions, are called as the error. Okay. So we will have the definition for this. What is checked exceptions? The classes that directly inherit the throwable class, except runtime exception and error, are known as checked exceptions. This is what the definition I have obtained. And these exceptions are checked at compile time. Okay, again these are the examples it is given, whatever given. And unchecked, the classes that inherit the runtime exceptions are known as unchecked exceptions. These are automatically defined. Okay, why it is these are automatically defined is because if I run a program where I have declared an array as 10 and I try to access the 12th element, so if I run that program, then it will give me an exception occurs because of this, or the program is not able to execute because of the this execution because of this exception, it will give me an error. Whereas if the file is not found, the program is not at all compiled. Okay, it will show you an error here only. Okay, that is why it is compile time exception we have to call. And next we have error. So error is one. This defines the exceptions that are not expected to be caught under normal circumstances, and these are used by JVM to indicate errors having uh, okay, so some top to do with runtime, having to do something with the runtime environment. Okay, you leave this one. Next, these failures cannot usually be handled by the programs. That is what the errors. So stack overflow, and out of memory. These are some example of errors. Okay. So this is about class hierarchy. You have to write. And here, whatever I have specified, use of exception. Why we need to handle the exception? What is exception handling? Mechanism to handle the runtime exceptions to stop the abnormal termination of um, an application or a program is called as exceptional handling. It is a mechanism to stop the abnormal termination of an application or a program. Mechanism to stop an abnormal termination of a program or application is called as exception handling. Okay, so you can define in that manner. That's what the definition I have given in the beginning of the slide. Why we require an exception? To maintain the normal flow of the application. Okay, and you can to avoid the abnormal termination of a program or an application. Okay, to handle the errors. Okay, to handle the exception occurs during the execution of a program, we require exceptional handling. The same reason you can write in into 3 points. Okay, like if we are by handling this, what is the thing we are getting? If a program like it is containing some 100 lines and an exception occurs at the beginning of the 10th line, then what it will do? It will stop at the 10th line. If you are not handling the exception, it will come out of the execution by stopping the instruction at the 10th line. But if you handle the exception at the 10th line, then what it will do? It will move on to the 11th line and it will continue to the till the end of the instructions if everything goes fine. Okay. So in between again at the 80th line an exception occurs. If you handle it, then it will go up to the 100 lines of instructions. If you are not handle wherever the first line of instruction it occurred, it will stop there and it will forget about the execution of the remaining lines of instructions. That is why to stop that abnormal termination we have to handle it so that we can go for next sequence of execution and the normal execution of the program. That is why we need to handle the exceptions. Okay, and that mechanism is called as exception handling. Okay, this is what exception handling allows the execution of complete code even after the exception event, even after the occurrence of an exception event, because of handling it properly so that you can continue with your work. If you are not handle it properly, you have to stop your work and you have to come out. Okay, so that is why we need to handle the exceptions. Okay, so next, how in Java, how we are going to handle such situation in Java. Okay, this is the block which is given using try catch block. Okay, and also using throw keyword. You are handling an exception. So one of the basic model of handling an exception is a try catch block. So we had try it is a try catch keyword pair. Using this, we are handling exception in Java. So its syntax is in this manner. Try is a block where you will suspect that an exception may occur. Whatever the statements will include in between these flower brackets is a code, is a set of statements where you will think that an exception may occur. So that code you will include in this block. And the catch is what? If some error or some exception occurs in this block, it will skip from here and you are going to tell how it is to be handled here. Okay. Block of code to handle errors. That is why try and catch blocks will be come in a pair. If you are writing try, it is to be followed by a catch block. Okay. So try block includes where an exception block of code where an exception may occur, and catch is a block which is having the statements which will handle the exceptions. Okay, this is the general syntax. So this is what the explanation given. Try statement allows to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. Catch statement allows to define errors in the sense compile time exception and runtime exception. Okay, catch statement allows to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block. Okay, so once catch block is executed, then the next statement of that catch block it will come and execute. Okay, so this is what we have. Next, let me check usage of try catch. How in what manner we can use? One try can be followed by many catch blocks, and also it will be followed by a keyword try, multiple catch, and a finally keyword. And also we can use nested try blocks. Okay, so in this manner, single try catch block or a try block followed by multiple catch blocks, and a nested try blocks you can use, and a try followed by multiple catch blocks and a finally keyword. So these are the ways in which using try catch pair we are handling the exceptions. Now We'll see using a simple try catch block, a simple example of handling a exception. Okay, so only simple thing I have given here. Here we'll try here and there and we'll see understand the concept. Okay, it is a simple example. Okay, so I have this is you can see like what are the consequences you will face when you will not handling any error in a program. Okay, now here everything fine. Like what? Yeah. So here, okay, this is the situation. Here you just see the output. What I have done here. This is what runtime exception we have, right? Here I have taken in the line number 10, a array has been declared which is containing fourth element, and I try to in the line number 11 I try to print the first element of the array. Okay, so here everything is fine. So then I have in the 13 line number 13 just I have printed hello 1. Okay, after that in line number 14 I have a and b values, so where b value is defined as 0, and 15 I have a by b, and I have printed hello 2. So in which line we have some problem, because any number division by 0 is not defined, undefined. That is called as arithmetic exception, right? An exception occurred at line number 15. That's why I have not gone for the execution of line number 16 or 16, right? So here only it has stopped and it has terminated the completion of the program. You can have many statements here. Okay. So that means what? Here also we can take this one. After that, we'll see this. That means it has stopped its execution at line number 16 and it come out of the loop. So that is why I have got the output of line number 13 and I got the output of line number 14. But at the line, it comes at line number 16, it stopped its execution and it has come out of it. Okay. And it is showing that arithmetic exception, that is division by 0. Okay. Because of this error, it is not able to terminate this program completely. After that, line number 16, I have four more statements to execute, but it has not been executed that. Okay. So whenever it will occur, the exception occurs, it will stop. Now we can see that this is what consequences of uncaught exceptions. Okay. So I'll give here 8. Now what will happen? Because I have only 4 elements in the array, but I try to print an 8th element of the array. Okay. So since that element is not there, I'll get an error at 11. So I'm not going to get output of any of these statements. So now you see I have not got output of like a previous this, it has skipped, it has stopped at the line number 11 that it has come out. This is what we'll call abnormal termination of the program. So an exception disturbs the normal execution of the instructions. Okay, so this I can give any I, right? I can ask which element you want to display, entire I. So this I should be in between 0 and 3. But if I try to access more than 3, then obviously I'm going to get an error here. Okay, so that is why this is called runtime exception. Okay, so this is what the consequence of not handling the errors during the execution of the program. It will stop at that line and it will what skip the next lines of execution. How we can avoid this? How we can convert this into normal execution? That is why we need to handle the exception. And one of the basic block is try catch block. Okay, I have taken here multiple catch and all. Mm. In the single program only I have taken this. Okay, so yeah, I'll copy this one somewhere and we'll see. um, because that program is just trying where is copy. here. Okay, just take simple one and we'll see how we are going to handle it. Okay, so comment this is what for a compile time I hope time. Okay, so we have this right, and just leave this. I'll take a general exception class, and this is simple try catch block. Okay, so here I'll write. Okay, is this okay? So what I have done, we have declared an array, and again, the same thing we have taken, right? In the previous example, since I have not done any handling of the exception, there will be an abnormal termination of the program. Now, the same thing I have taken, but I try to handle that error using a try catch block. So that is why in try block is the one where you have to include the statement which make us error. So here I have an error array. So what may be the error here caused here? If I try to access an element which is outside the dimension of that array, then an error occurs. Okay. Again, division by zero. There we have if it happens, then arithmetic exception occurs, right? So here, yeah, we'll see how this it will be stopped and how it is going to work. Message 1 inside try block 1. So here message 2 inside try block 2. Okay. If everything is fine, since if I will say here 6. Okay. And here I'll have this one. After the cache block, you can have some statement. Some dot out dot println. Now what is the scenario here? If everything is fine, no error occurs, then we'll get line number 15 is executed, 16 is executed, 20 is executed. Okay, but catch block is not executed, and outside the catch block, whatever the statements we have, all those things will be executed, right? This is what for the output required for the normal scenario. Okay, so let me explain 5 more minutes. Okay, if everything occurs, this is what. Okay, so we have got all the things done. Well, why we are getting 0 as the output? Because we are not defined the elements of the array. So everything is initialized by default to 0. So if I try to access a of 3, the value is 0. So this message is executed and this is executed, and we have got all these things, right? So if I try to access the 15th element, what will happen whenever an error occurs here? So instead of abnormal termination, since I have put this statement inside a try block, it will jump to this catch block and whatever is written inside that will be executed. So this error is handled in the catch block, and it will become again jump to the 30th line, and it is going to execute the next instructions of the program. That is how using this try catch block I have converted an abnormal termination into normal termination. Okay, now what it is, it will stop at this line number 20 is not executed, but will come here. Line number 26 and 27 is executed. Again, I'm going to get the output of 30, 31, and 32. I'm converting it into the normal run execution of the program, right? You see, it has occurred here. And why I'm getting this message? Because this is what, okay, here whatever exception is a general class, okay, it will not say it will handle any type of exceptions. So e is the object of this class, and it is having the description of this exception. So since I have printed this a, okay, to it will describe what type of error has occurred. And e get stack trace means why it has occurred, that information. Index 15 out of bounds for length 12, it is telling that you have taken an array of size 12, but you are trying to access an element 15. If I comment this, I'm not going to get this information, okay, array index out of exception I'll not get. If I have to get what type of exception is occurred, I have to print this object. Okay, so if I write this, okay, outside. Okay, only it is not printed this. It is only printing this. E gets stack trace. Why I have not get the output? Okay, so I have not received the output. No problem. Okay, so either it is not giving any. Okay, print this. No problem. Okay, so for all these things, it is printing all the detail. Okay, I will use somewhere else. It is okay. This is what, right? So that means what, it is converted here. So now I will write here at any point of time if it stops. Now make this as D. So the error will be 0, and this is the description of this exception. Okay, you can see it will tell you the description of this exception, and after the completion of this catch block, whatever is there, I am handling this. Okay, so and one more. Okay, time is over. Let me take this one and I will stop. Catch. Okay, so it is showing an error. Unreachable, it is showing it. Okay, so since I have written, I want to show that when a general class is written on the top, a particular type of exception is not handled. Here it is showing this an error only. I cannot define it uh, below this. Okay, I have to write this. Okay, so this is, you can just see whenever I'll execute this, the second exception is executed. This catch block is executed. Whereas when this is correct, and here this one is happened, then instead of executing the catch block at line number 27, the catch block at line number 23 will be executed. Okay, so the arithmetic exception and division by 0. Okay, it is okay, forget about this. only just see using a try and catch block, and whatever the exception just mentioned here, it is a general exception class. It can represent any type of exception. So if I print this, it will describe what that exception has occurred, and this program explains you how using try catch, simple try catch pair, you are converting an abnormal termination of a program into a normal termination by handling the error occurred in a catch block. And just I have shown you how multiple catch blocks can be written, and where to place the catch blocks, that we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So today we have seen what is an exception, what is exception is handling is, and what are the reasons which will cause exceptions that will disturb the execution of a program, and what is the hierarchy we have, or what are the types of exceptions we are having, and the different reasons. And one of the way of handling an exception, that is using a simple try catch pair, how we are converting an abnormal termination of a program into normal termination. Okay, so that is what we have seen today. Okay, so let me take the other things in the next class.